What's up, weirdos? What's going on, guys? What is going down? All right. So, we got ourselves a nice little opportunity over the weekend to probably DCA, stuff our bags, guys. I'm excited about it. I hope you are too. I've been sitting on my hands for about a day or two now, not really DCAing. I think I put a little bit of a buy order in over on Patreon yesterday, but it was just a little one. So I am looking forward to doing a little bit more, guys. Um, Man, yes, we dropped, guys. You know, if you're over there, we dropped, or we didn't drop, but I've been talking about over the last couple days the gem that I think that we're into right now. The one I think is going to start moving next after Zbec. We're talking XCN, Zbec. The next one that's going to move after that, it already is kind of moving today very, very nicely. But the people who are not over on the Patreon and are missing out on these gems, they're seeing these gems go flying higher and higher and higher. They're sitting there right now like,
you know how much I sacrificed?
I love it. I love it. What's going on, guys? We had to bring back the classic. We had to bring back the classic. All right, what's going on? We got some super chats to get through. What do we got? Ramona, what's going on? Thank you for all who have served our community. Enjoy and reflect this Memorial Day weekend. Absolutely, guys. Have an absolutely amazing Memorial Day weekend this weekend, guys. Touch some grass, have a barbecue, and excuse me, have yourselves a hell of a time. Absolutely. Jared, my man, my dude, thank you for everything you do. Rob, you are the GOAT. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. Eddie, what's up, man? Your guidance is invaluable, boss. God bless you. God bless you too, Eddie. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Restful Mind, first Pokemon of the day. Mewtwo in the house. Funny, my son, who's 5, just realized or just discovered Pokemon. So he's watching the shows on Netflix now. Much love for what you do. Thank you. Hey, no problem, man. Thank you. Strawberry Dragon in the house. What are you doing with your life if you haven't joined the weirdo group? Time is running out. Rob is the biggest weirdo of them all. Absolutely. King of the weirdos, baby. King of the weirdos. We love it. We absolutely love it. How the hell are you guys today? I feel good today. I feel good. Do you feel good? I hope you feel good. Yeah, I think there's a James Brown song in there somewhere. California Raisins, baby. Blah, what's going on? What's the next target for Cookie? Well, I mean, to the upside would be about 40 cents, but I think we're probably going to have a little bit of a correction on Cookie first, so might be a DCA opportunity for those out there. Rob, he's our man. If he can't predict it, no one can. There you go. Good call on the next pump on the Patreon last night. On point. Yeah, it's pumping today, right? that's what I'm saying, right? We're just knocking it out of the park. We're knocking it out of the park. There she is, Gamma Goddess in the house. She says, respect and love to all that have served, all the men in my family and grandparents. RIP, he was Army Air Trooper. Nice. Our love and appreciation goes out to him for sure. Our prayers as well, Gamma Goddess. Absolutely. Absolutely. Got to show that love and appreciation. Happy fam. What's up, man? Leo, my dude. What's up, man? Good to see you. Love the cheer. Yes, exactly. Alex, where we ate? Where we at? Any dip soon? I want to add some. Probably over the weekend is going to be a good opportunity to dollar cost average, in my opinion. I do think so. I mean, if we look at Bitcoin right now, I mean, we're sitting at $108,900. Look, we wicked all the way down, guys. Look at that, to $107,300. Now, I covered in a video this morning why this happened, right? And if you're unaware, I think am I covering it in an article today? Yes, I am. I'm covering it in an article today, so I will get into it. It's more tariff stuff, so but we will get into it a little bit. So stay tuned for that. That's why we had a little bit deeper of a correction than I think that we probably would have, but Like I said before, I wouldn't be shocked to see this candle come up and close at least above the old all-time high here at $109,600. That's where I want to see this candle get to. Now we have like 5.5 hours left or something to do that. So, you know, there's a good chance with any luck, bulls can push us back up. We want to close above the old all-time high and build support there. So that's what I'll be watching for. Braveheart, McFreedom, good day, great day, visiting the family and watching on the side. It's been a great day to DC. Are you saying I'm your side YouTuber? Jay, what's up, buddy? Hey, Rob, and all other money makers out there. Let's go. Joy, what's going on? Happy Friday, everyone. Hope everyone is having a great day. See y'all in the open mic tonight. Yes, it is open mic night tonight over on the Patreon as well, guys. Party time. It's going to be a blast. If you're not there, guys, if you ain't got it by now, then you just ain't getting it, right? You are missing out on all of these gems. You're missing out on open mic night. Oh, my goodness. This is a testament to time in the market rather than timing the market. Be patient and calm. Exactly. Cheers to that. You're 100% right. Patience, consistency, sticking to a plan. Guys, you guys remember, like, when we were down at $74,000 and altcoins were down significantly lower than they are now, man, I was being bombarded with people who were bearish and like, do you think we're going lower? Is it going into a bear market? And I was like, DCA, guys, DCA. That's what I did, right? Now, I want to show you guys something actually on the Bitcoin chart. Okay, let me show you something. Most of you guys, if you're new here, I want you to follow me on this, okay? Because this is how the last few months have played out for us over in our Patreon community, okay? Now we were up in this area here. We were up in this area here, right? Back when we were here. I told everybody over on the Patreon, and they'll tell you in the chat, I'm not lying. I told everybody, I said, do not DCA here, guys. Save up your dry powder, I said, because we're going lower, right? I said, save as much dry powder as you possibly can. Go get an extra job, work overtime. I said, get some extra powder. That's what I preached over here. And then we crashed all the way down, and I said we were going to touch 69 to 74K, and we did. Look, we touched it twice, 74K. And I said all through this area here, I said DCA, guys. This is where you want to be using all that dry powder that we told you to accumulate up here. Use it here, right? So that's what we were doing. And I was getting attacked like crazy from people. People telling me, stop telling people to DCA because we're going into a bear market and you're going to get people wrecked and all that kind of stuff. I was getting attacked left and right, but we persevered. We had a plan, and our plan was to build up dry powder up here, spend it down here, right? DCA as much as we could in this area. And then I told everybody we were going up. We hit this golden pocket, we hit this golden pocket, and we just touched this golden pocket. That's what we're doing over on the Patreon, guys. If you were a part of our community, you would have had all of that guidance. You would have had the guidance to save your dry powder, because a lot of people in the range where I was telling people to save your dry powder, right, for accumulation later, a lot of people spent all their dry powder in that time frame, and then when we dropped down, they had no money to DCA, right? So just, it's very important to be part of a community that knows what they're doing, guys, that knows what this market's doing, right? So definitely it's worth checking out, man. That's all I can say. Good afternoon. A guy is in the house. What's up, man? Carlos, ZBEC holding up pretty good. Yeah, it is actually. We're going to let's go look at the ZBEC chart actually. Let's pull the ZBEC chart up. Why not? We got it up anyway. So look at that. ZBEC's looking fantastic. We touched the golden pocket again today. We wicked up to it. We got to break through. Clearly we have a sell wall right here where people are taking profits. We have to keep chipping away at that so we can break to the upside here. So it's looking good though. ZBEC is looking good. Guys, as always, make sure that you hit the like and subscribe to the channel. Helps the channel grow. Doesn't cost you a single solitary red cent. So definitely check it out, guys. What else do we have? What else do we have? Need to change my name on YouTube to Kizza, as Rob can't say my name. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Bulbasaur in the house. J Money, what's happening, my dude? What's happening? Second Pokemon of the day. WF Capital, Zebek. Yep, absolutely, man. Milk Money, what's going on? Happy Friday. Salute and respect to those who served. Happy Memorial Weekend, everyone. Absolutely. Quentin, what's up, my guy? Parallel Life in the house. Paul, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Is Mr. T's mouth correlated to the M2 money supply with the 80-day offset? Yeah, actually, you know what? Let's have a look at the M2 money supply. I haven't even looked at it today. Are we moving up? Are we moving down? What are we doing? Oh, look at that. Look at that. We are moving up again on the M2 money supply, guys. Looking good. A new high for the M2, a new local high. Nice. If Bitcoin follows that trajectory, it puts us at about almost $131,000 right now. So looking good. But as you can see, look right here, guys, in the M2. We're seeing a little bit of a correction in Bitcoin's price, and we have this correction right here at the same time. So the timing is still matching up absolutely perfect. If you can see, we've got this correction, and then boom, another big leg up, right? So things are looking good, guys. Things are looking good. Envy, hopefully we got a Zebek move like XCN. Oh, we will. We've already kind of started that. XCN went up about 500% in the course of about 26 days, right? Zebek on the month, on just in this last 4 weeks, is up 219%. So we need another 200 to 300% move on Zebek to match Onyx coins. So, and I don't think that this run is over for Zebek either. I mean, it might correct with everything else briefly here, but the price targets that we have over on the Patreon for Zebek, I could see that happening by the end of June or sometime in the middle of July. That's what I'm hoping for. So, Ali Yang, what's going on, man? Let's go, Zebek. Over the top. What's going on? Nick, what's up, buddy? Zebek pump saved me from selling my kidney. There you go. There you go. Cody, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Stay weird. Absolutely, man. Stay weird. Cody, happy Friday, guys. If you're watching from Crypto Future, pop over to Crypto Blueprint and hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't yet. Yes, absolutely. Please go ahead and do that, guys. Subscribe over on Crypto Blueprint. Trying to grow up that channel as well. Andy, my dude, what's up, buddy? Great buying opportunity today and hopefully over the weekend before the next big run up. Exactly. BTC XRP Vegas conference. Here's what I'm thinking, guys. Next year, I'm thinking about taking it on the road a little bit, right? I'm gonna see, maybe Otaku wants to do it with me or something like that. That didn't sound right. I'm gonna see if Otaku's interested in joining me. About maybe next year going to some of these Bitcoin conferences, XRP conferences, and shooting some content while we're there, right? Something like that. I've asked Max before, but Max is really not a big fan of Bitcoin, so he didn't really have much interest in going to the Bitcoin conferences and stuff. But yeah, Otaku might want to come with me or something. We could make content while we're out there, right, at these Bitcoin conferences. Maybe we can catch a couple of interviews or something like that. 3K Sports, what's up, man? Nadix doing well, almost 20 million market cap. There you go. There you go. Some reason it's not changing. Oh, had a little bit of a glitch there. In Rob, we trust. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely, Daryl. I definitely love my Nadix. This app is awesome, free, and can't complain. Yeah, guys, listen, if you want to learn how to make passive income through these projects like everyone's doing on the Patreon, get on over there, guys. Get on over there. Link is in the chat. It's in the pinned comments. It's in the description. You are definitely missing the boat. Ty, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Rob is D-man. Thank you so much. Telly, thank you, Rob. Rob, you are the truth. Hey, I just tell it like it is, man. I just tell it like it is. Hey, Rob, not feeling good, feeling great. That's what I like to hear, Jess. That's what I like to hear. Fantastic. Bruno, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Jake the Snake, eating these corrections like they're my veggies. Zivik is dessert, though. There you go. Beebs, my dude. What's up, man? Good to see you, brother. Amazing Coins. What's going on? Hey, Robin Crypto Weirdos. I'm here today at my work. You're always at work. David, what's up, buddy? Where do you think I could DCA more into cookie? Like what? If you're asking that question, it kind of defeats the purpose of DCAing. DCAing is basically picking a schedule and sticking to that schedule, dollar cost averaging, buying a little bit here and there, regardless of what the price is, right? So asking that question is kind of like an oxymoron to dollar cost averaging, right? So yeah, that's what I would say. As a vet, just want to remind everyone what this holiday is about. This is the costliest holiday of the year. Remember, the fallen freedom isn't free. Absolutely, Gary. Absolutely. You are absolutely right. We tend to, in the hustle and bustle of our lives, guys, we tend to forget the sacrifices that were made for us to do the very simple things that we take for granted on a daily basis. Absolutely. So you should absolutely, take a moment to be appreciative of your ability to pick up your phone and send a text or whatever the case might be, because all of the luxuries that you enjoy in a day, even the inconveniences, would not be possible if others had not made the ultimate sacrifice for you. So absolutely, I agree. And for those that continue to make that sacrifice today and in the future, right? Families have given up generations of individuals sacrificing for everything that we enjoy today. So it's very important that we remember and appreciate that, right? House, you think XCN will hit 18 cents? I'm almost even. I can't wait. I think it's possible that it can hit the all-time high. Yes. Romeo, watching over on X. What's up, buddy? Joined a little late. Have you looked at the Bitcoin dominance chart yet? Thank you. No, we have not, but we can. Bitcoin dominance. It's a little bit of a downward slant today. Not much, but look at that bounce. Boom. Is that a dead cat bounce, or is it going to continue higher? That's the question. 64%. Interesting. David, that would be a great idea. What kind of content with otaku? The best kind. The best kind. Rosa, what's up? Happy Friday, lovely people. Just know patience will pay off. Amen. Abdul, what's up, man? I'm hoping an announcement of a partnership between Ripple and Zivik. Yeah, it could be a few weeks away still, but yes. Swiftcoin, why are you making a sad face for Swiftcoin, man? Swiftcoin is like one of my biggest bags. I could not be more bullish. I look at the tokenomics of Swiftcoin, and I could not be more bullish if I tried. You could try to be more bullish, but you would fail, right? So glad I sold everything and put it all in Fartcoin. Thanks, Rob. Hey, that's what we do, baby. Thank you for the gems, Rob. Let's go, weirdos. Absolutely. Has Uphold started airdrops? Not too sure on that. Not too sure. Has XCN become a stable coin? Hey, patience pays off, man. Patience pays off. That's all I can say about that, right? If you cave, it'll pump. I remember last year, so we got into Onyx Coin in March of 2024. You guys hear me talk about that all the time. But what you have to understand, though, is that project went sideways and did nothing for like 10 months, 9 or 10 months. And we just accumulated. That's all we did on the Patreon. We accumulated and accumulated, and the coin did absolutely nothing. It just trended sideways. You know what? I'll even show you the chart, okay? Let's look at the chart for XCN. All right. Now, over on the Patreon, we accumulated. So we got into this way back here, all through all of this sideways, look at this sideways do nothing action. Look at it. Look how boring and consistently down it is, right? We accumulated through that whole phase, you guys. Here, I'll zoom in a little bit here, right? So it's a little bumpy, but all through this, all of this here, we accumulated XCN all through there. Man, was it boring. I had people by the end of it, right around this area here. I want to show you some. Right in this range here, I had people starting to ask me over on the Patreon if they should sell their Onyx coin and go into something else because they were so tired of all of this, right? And I said, no, of course not. Of course not. And then what happened, guys? What happened? Look what happened, right? So if you're sitting there and you're in a project right now, like Onyx Coin, and you're asking either me or you're asking yourself, should I get out of this project? It's boring. It's not doing anything. I would urge you to look back and remember that we accumulated this for like 10 months where it did nothing. And then it broke out over 500% in 26 days, right? So all of that boring, sideways, mind-numbingly boring action paid off, and we just accumulated the whole time, right? The people who got shaken out, a lot of people got shaken out of it, by the way, during that long period of accumulation. And they missed out on a massive opportunity, right? So that's what I would say about patience and perseverance in this space. Fart coin is old news. I'm all about shark coin. Yeah, that sound, shark coin sounds a little more juicy. What's up, Reality Sounds? Good to see you, man. Leo, Rob, how many ZBIC we have to have? All of them. All of them, brother. Every single one of them. You want to have them all. They're like Pokemon. You got to catch them all, right? All right, so let's get into some of the news today, guys. We haven't really talked about any of the news. But before we do, as always, quick shout out to Decent Biometric Wallet for sponsoring the channel, guys. Get your 2-for deal on the Biometric Wallet or the Decent Card Wallet, guys. I think they're like $5. Use our link down below. Get a great deal. I just covered a story yesterday, and I'm going to follow up on it today about the hack and exploit of the hot wallet. What's it called? Sui's hot wallet, Cetus, right? So, guys, keep your crypto safe. Like these hacks and scams and stuff, this is real stuff. Not to mention 69,000 people, customers over on Coinbase, also had their information stolen, right? So keep your stuff safe, guys. Get yourself a self-custody wallet. Today, use our link down below. Get a great deal. If you get scammed, if your crypto gets taken, there's no recourse. No one's going to pay you back, right? Keep that in mind. I have 3 million is a good number. Yes, 3 million is a good number, Zebek, but you know what's better than 3 million? 4 million, right? Everything I've bought since joining the Patreon is in profit. Everything from before is still red. Thanks to Rob and the Patreon family for getting me on the right path. I hate to laugh, Daryl. I'm sorry that everything you bought before you joined the Patreon is red. Hopefully it turns around for you, but that is absolutely phenomenal to hear, man. That makes me so happy to hear. Everything you've picked up since joining the Patreon is in profit. That's absolutely fantastic, brother. That is fantastic. What an amazing community we have, guys. All right, let's get into some of this news today. What do we have? U.S.-India near trade agreement amid tariff negotiations. So U.S. and India are entering the final stages of a bilateral trade agreement following discussions led by Vice President J.D. Vance and Prime Minister Modi in April of 2025. The agreement aims to address tariff imbalances and expand market access, with postponed U.S. tariffs posing a strategic shift in economic relations between the two countries. The potential trade agreement between the U.S. and India follows a strategic push to mitigate a looming increase in tariffs. slated to affect a wide range of goods from India. These discussions have seen significant involvement from both sides, with Vice President Vance and PM Modi being key negotiating figures. The focus is on establishing a framework that reduces barriers while significantly increasing market access across crucial sectors. India could face tariffs up to 27%, with certain protections being pursued through negotiations. The architectural, man, I'm tongue-tied, and dairy sectors remain sensitive, requiring strategic decisions as both governments aim for an interim deal to avoid harsher economic impacts. The broader bilateral trade agreement, BTA, bilateral trade agreement, is aligned with the Mission 500 initiative, intending to increase trade volume markedly by the next decade. The implications of this trade deal extend beyond mere tariffs. Industries in both nations could see shifts in market dynamics, affecting manufacturing supply chains and potentially the tech field. The trade balance is also under scrutiny, which may influence the economic outlook in both countries. Political and social dynamics are expected to shift accordingly as each government aligns internal policies to maximize the benefit of the agreement. Globally, the deal could shift financial and capital flows, aligning with previous trends seen in similar negotiations. Historical precedent suggests that such changes can indirectly influence cryptocurrency markets, although direct effects remain speculative. Barack, what's up, man? Good to see you. Good to see you again, man. Jake the Steak, I can ditto that, Daryl. It's either red or break even for everything before Rob, and up huge since Rob. That's what I like to hear, guys. Absolutely, guys. Listen, if you're here and you're not on the Patreon, I mean, you know, it speaks for itself, right? Everybody's in the green on everything that they've picked up on the Patreon, and they're in the red on everything that they had before the Patreon, right? So, like I said, the people who are watching projects, if you're sitting there watching Zebek go up right now because you didn't get in early, I mean, you're sitting there right now talking like,
you know how much I sacrificed?
Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Come on. Change my name. Boom. Kizza, there you go. Now you're matching the Patreon. Perfect. All right, the bond market is sounding the alarm on U.S. and global fiscal situations. Let's check it out.
Take a look at Treasury yields this morning. They're a little lower than they had been earlier in the week, but we are talking about elevated levels that's been taking course all week since the Moody's downgrade last week. The 30-year this morning's at 5.03%. The 10-year is at 4.52. For more on this week's action in the bond market, we want to bring in Subhadra Rajappa. She is the head of U.S. rate strategy at Societe Generale. And Subhadra, let's run through what we're talking about here. Ray Dalio is a warning that's out there. He says, I think we should be afraid of the bond market. I would say that if we're really looking over the next 3 years, to give or take a year or two, that we're in a type of critical situation. Do you agree?
Yeah, we're definitely at levels that we should be concerned about, 5% in 30 years. And if for some reason, if you start seeing a continued sell-off in the 10-year towards that 5% level as well, that I think is a bit of a concern. But this is not just a U.S. phenomenon. You're seeing global bond yields rise. You're seeing this unraveling of correlations between all the different assets. I mean, typically when equities sell off, investors flock to the safety of bonds and the dollar. That's not happening. And you're also seeing at the same time that investors are really demanding a term premium for bonds, not just in the U.S., but again, also globally with JGB yields going higher. So you're seeing this kind of very, difficult picture, if you will, for bonds globally.
I mean, 5%, I know that's at the very high end of things over the last 18 years. Mm-hmm. But if you look historically, it's really not subnormal, out of the norm, and we've seen rates that are much higher than this going back historically. Is this really the bond market's sitting up and saying, we're not going to continue to allow these global fiscal deficits to continue.
Yeah, for sure. I think this is bond vigilantism at its early stages. I mean, we saw that back in August of 2023 when the Treasury increased its coupon issuance sizes. You saw bond investors push back and 10-year yields started going towards 5%. So this is definitely the bond market kind of sounding the alarm, if you will, on the fiscal situation in the U.S. as well as globally. You're also seeing that the Fed is doing quantitative tightening. So the largest buyer of treasuries is stepping away, and the demand dynamics are generally quite weak as well.
Bauder, you are stressing that it's a global phenomenon. I'll tell you where I'm going with this. For the second day in a row, and we understand the journal, but they're running interference for this reconciliation bill. They're saying, do not blame the backup in yields to what is a pro-growth tax cut strategy. But then others are likening it to what happened in the UK with Liz Truss, which resulted in her the country backtracking on all the tax cuts, and now they're stuck in kind of a malaise. Do you tie this back up directly to the reconciliation bill, or why did the light switch go on 37 trillion? Why did it just happen now that, wow, we might have a problem here?
So it's really a confluence of factors, and I think we've been building up to it for a while now. I would say that starting with the Liberation Day on April 3rd, you saw the initial reaction in the bond market was towards lower yields as equities sold off. And then we quickly reversed course when uncertainty started to rise. And then we got the downgrade from Moody's last week. So,
Did
this
that
sort of
really
fiscal,
mean anything,
not really. I mean, I think that this is one of many data points that we're looking at. If anything, I'd say that the bill that's been passed in the House is better than what I had anticipated. The question now becomes what happens.
Better how? Right? Because of cutting the 1.5 trillion or whatever.
I mean, the pushback has come from the deficit hawks, right?
I mean, this adds to the deficit.
It does add to the deficit, but they've tried
they keep selling the growth.
But can you have a pro-growth bill if you're doing this in conjunction with changing the tariff structure in the United States, around the globe, actually? I mean, I think that would be the bigger question. Is it going to be pro-growth if you do it hand in fist with the tariff?
I think Becky has a very good point, because this comes in the broader context of what's happening with tariffs and what the impact of tariffs are going to be on inflation. Is this sort of pro-growth tax policy going to be an offset for the higher prices that consumers have to pay because of tariffs? And this package is not as stimulative as it was back in 2017 when the first sort of tax cut was passed. So the market's trying to suss out all of these different outcomes, and you're seeing this rise in yields.
And taxes aren't going up. So to service the debt, we need the growth to work. We need the growth components to be positive. So that's another thing I thought it was sort of an inverse way of looking at it, that the worry is that there won't be enough tax revenues because we won't have the growth. So interest rates are going to go up because we're not going to be able to service. Well, the 20-year auction might have been the first sign of that. No. Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, I think that long end yields are rising, and really the buyer's strike is in the very long end. I mean, the 10-year is still relatively contained. Yeah. I think that over the next 3 months, 10-year yields probably trade somewhere between 4 and a quarter to 4.75%. I think you start getting towards 5%.
But you're not going to get the relief on things like mortgages, car loans, all of the things that drive the consumer.
Yeah, and you're seeing that play out in the data with existing home sales, starting to weaken. You really need to see that 10-year yield start to come down towards that 4% or below to see those borrowing costs start to ease up a bit, and you're just not there.
What if it gets bogged down in the Senate and it doesn't look like we're going to get there, and the tax cuts would expire? Would that be good or bad that this didn't go through?
We know that it's going to be categorically bad, right? When you don't pass an extension of the TCJA, that's implicitly a hike in taxes. So the extension of the TCJA is going to definitely get passed.
I heard people yesterday saying we need to go back to 39.7. I was watching it yesterday. That's something we should do at this point. It's going to take the high end back up for, I think it was Harold Ford actually saying that on.
You do that overnight, you're going to face a severe crunch in the economy, I would say.
Yeah. And the implications are going to be sort of broad ranging. It's not just the bond market. You're going to be looking at risky assets broadly speaking and saying, what are the implications for equities and credit and all the other asset classes?
Yeah, there's a comment I wanted to get to from that I saw here in the chat. Jake the Snake. I agree with you, man. I think the bond market is reflecting the fact other countries are trying to stay afloat, namely Japan. And I would throw China into that as well. Absolutely, I agree with that, man. I agree. Zebuk will have some announcement in the next couple of weeks after listening to their X Spaces the other day. Yes, I wouldn't be shocked if it was the Ripple partnership, man. I would not be shocked if it was the Ripple partnership. That would be huge, huge. They literally said in their spaces as well that they have been talking with Ripple for the last 3 weeks. And when asked for details, they said that they cannot discuss it, which indicates an NDA, right? So I agree with you on that 100%, Kizza. Hang on. Yeah, I agree 100% on that. EZ, yo, what's up, good fam? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Investors will realize that countries can't pay back their bonds and will put it into Bitcoin. That shouldn't be a risk closed as a risk asset. Yes, Bitcoin will be 1 million next bull run. Hey, man, from your lips to God's ears, brother. Absolutely. I agree with you. I do see $1 million Bitcoin. I don't know if it'll happen in the next cycle, but for sure the one after that, 2032, 2033, I think that's kind of where I'm targeting right now. That's why I never sell my Bitcoin, right? Mr. T said, get your butt in the Patreon. Nadex pumping, covering. There you go. What's with this market? It's very shaky. It's not shaky, man. We just saw massive runs to the upside on Bitcoin and on altcoins over the last month. Corrections have to happen. They have to happen. You cannot have up without down, right? You have to build structure. You have to build levels of consolidation. If we get an announcement from Ripple and Zebek partnership, off to the races. Yes, absolutely, man. Steve, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. H. Barbarina in the house. All right, let's get to the next one. Mr. T's tariff strategy affects markets. Surprising reactions emerge. On May 23rd, former Mr. T has announced significant tariffs on the EU and Apple, causing notable market shifts. The move sparked increased volatility across financial and crypto markets, with treasury yields rising and significant liquidations occurring. So I think that we would have corrected no matter what today, but I think we corrected deeper than we would have if it wasn't for Mr. T's announcement of these 50%. It's 50% tariffs on the EU. I think it's 50%. Yeah. The U.S. Treasury yield increased by 6 basis points following statements by Secretary Benson. Mr. T's announcement on tariffs on the EU and Apple triggered this rise. The crypto community speculates on Mr. T's intentions, given his connections with digital assets and industry figures during a private dinner. Market and crypto volatility has increased, with 343 million in crypto liquidations. Meanwhile, Benson promotion of a trade agreement on Fox News appears misaligned with the intended economic objectives. The S&P 500 index dropped significantly, echoing past tariff impacts. You know what? Let's have a look at that. Let's pause really quick. I want to look at the SPX. Did it drop dramatically? Let's have a look. I wouldn't say dramatically. I mean, it dropped a little bit. We had a significant little drop, and then we also have sell alert going on, but we're still above. We're still above the 200-day. So yeah, I mean, it looks pretty strong still. Looks pretty strong. All right, let's get back to the article. The crypto community voices concerns over macro policy influences on digital assets. The Mr. T hosted dinner stirred reactions with speculation on crypto political roles. The Blockbeats community highlights a polarized industry as a result of these intersecting policies. Did you know Mr. T's past media involvement in digital currencies has consistently led to market volatility? moments of instability and temporary surges. Bitcoin's price, yeah, we don't need to get into that. Mr. T stated, whether genuinely wanting to help the industry rise or more inclined to create a new ATM for their family, this crypto president is increasingly walking on the cutting edge. What kind of storm will be stirred up in the partisan struggle afterward remains unknown. So very, very interesting. But this is why we saw more volatility today than was expected. But no matter how you slice the onion, we were expecting to see a little bit of red and sideways consolidation until probably Tuesday or Wednesday next week, as Monday is a holiday, right? So this was to be expected no matter how you slice it. But I think we cut a little deeper than we would have if it wasn't for these tariffs announcements on the EU. But at the same time, I think we will recover in rather short order. So I'm not too concerned about it. All right, what else do we have? Steve, hey Rob, in my Phantom wallet I received random ZBIC, but it seems fake. Has anyone? Yes, a few people have done that. Don't try to sell it, just ignore it. Leave it alone, right? It's a scam. What they do when you try to sell it is they try to get you to connect your wallet and put in your seed phrases, and then they drain your wallet. So don't do anything with it. Just ignore it. Pretend it's not there, right? It's separate ZBIC. Yes, it's a scam. Steve, do not touch the coins. It's a scam. Yes, exactly. Ramona with the super chat. What do you think this the potential price of ZBIC if they partner? Oh my goodness, that is a good. I haven't even thought about that, Ramona. I've been thinking that it's going to go crazy, but I mean, honestly, I think it would definitely hit that 2-3 cent range much faster. Like probably hit that range, probably around 1 to 2 cents. Just on that news, I think you would see mountains of people pouring in. And then you're going to also start to see listings on top of that, right? I mean, if we look over at ZBIC right now, that's another factor that's going to come in as well, right? If they have a partnership with Ripple, you're going to see demand go up. You're going to see XRP Army FOMO in most likely. And then you're also going to see you're going to see those Coinbase exchange listings, those Binance listings, right? Is it on Kraken? No, you're going to see Kraken. You're going to start to see these tier 1 listings as well start to come in. So it's going to be like a domino effect, in my opinion. So yeah, it could be 2 to 3 cents in rather short order, and like 10 to 15 cents, for the bull run, maybe even higher than that. Like and if that sounds unrealistic to you, I compared ZBIC to XRP in 2017. XRP's price was 2038. Okay, 2038 in 2017. It shot up to 35 cents, right? In a very short amount of time. So and XRP at the time didn't have the partnerships that ZBIC has. Ondo, MasterCard, Visa, Circle, list goes on and on. Ripple, right? The sky's the limit, in my opinion. Sky is the limit. Absolutely. Okay, what else do we have? Tether CEO says we're a company that created new import features for currencies.
President Trump hosting a dinner with top holders of his meme coin. It's the latest crypto-friendly event of the new administration. And joining us now to talk about DC's embrace of crypto, as well as pending stablecoin legislation known as the Genius Act, not the Stable Genius Act, not yet anyway. Tether CEO Paolo Arduino. Tether is the world's largest stablecoin issuer by market cap, and I guess we should just start by explaining exactly what Tether is. Not everybody knows exactly how it works. You're number one. It's pegged to the U.S. dollar, usually pegged to fiat, but then you can put it on the blockchain on Ethereum or something, and do what people think Bitcoin was going to do all along, and that is do these seamless, frictionless transactions around the world. Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, thank you for having me. Tether is a company that created the first stablecoin in 2014. Stablecoin is a digital asset, but it's a digital dollar. So in 2014, we look at this great technology called blockchain, And we thought, okay, instead of creating yet another token, as many do, we put the most used currency in the world on top of this beautiful technology called blockchain. And that currency was the US dollar. So since then, for the first 6 years, USDT has been used as the most predominant asset for cryptocurrency trading. But in 2020, with the advent of the pandemic and national economies going down the bin in all the emerging markets, developing countries, the adoption of USDT as the digital dollar for all the hundreds of millions of people, the billions of people that are called unbanked or underbanked around the world skyrocketed. So as of today, we have more than 420 million users across the emerging markets in developing countries. And we are growing at a pace of 30 million new wallets per quarter, almost like we were Facebook in a certain sense, because the interest of having a stable currency when you live in Turkey, where you have inflation of 50% year over year, or like in Argentina, where the Argentina peso lost 98% of its value against the US dollar, is just astronomical. So it's also, our growth is word of mouth.
But the US dollar devalues too over time. And I guess so many questions to ask. You have 120 billion in treasuries backing. It's not like a meme coin. This is backed by more than the amount of tokens that you've issued. You're holding more in U.S. Treasuries, 1.1 times as much.
So we have 152 billion in
152 now
in issued tokens, and we have 172 billion in total reserves. We have more than 125 billion in U.S. Treasuries, and the rest is very, very high liquid assets. We own more treasuries than Germany. Well, Tether is not a nation, but if we were a nation, we would be the 18th largest nation holding U.S. treasuries. We have more treasuries than Germany, UAE, Spain, Australia, and we are growing. Our approach is keep growing our U.S. treasuries base. We only keep the short maturity, like less than around 90 days. We think that is the best approach to create the most solid digital currency.
I mean, if this is all above ground, it sounds like everybody's winning here, because you emphasize it's a force multiplier for the U.S. dollar. It's not going to supplant the U.S. dollar. It actually enhances the attractiveness, I guess, or the leading, as the leading currency in the world. It probably adds to that. And I would think that the U.S. would be happy someone's holding our treasuries if we're worried about sovereigns or other countries, lightening up on treasuries. You might be the people buying the treasuries.
Well, last year in 2024, Tether was the 5th largest purchaser of U.S. treasuries. When you have Japan that needs to defend the Japanese yen, or like China that, they are selling T-bills at a very fast pace, then I think that we are proving with Tether that we are a company that created three new important features for currency. Okay. The first one is financial inclusion, with 420 million people using our product that, they have been underserved by the traditional financial system. That is a great feature. But then on top of that, we are spreading the US dollar hegemony. I mean, I think that we are the stronghold for the US dollar hegemony. When we are in Africa, in Central South America, there is very little US presence, but there is a lot of BRICS presence. And on top of that, there is Tether.
I trust you, but I'd still like to verify.
Well, I was going to ask you on the verification. So I believe back in March, you said that there was going to be a Big Four accounting firm that was going to do an audit of your reserves, effectively. Is there a timeline for that? Do we know when that's going to happen? How comprehensive? Is that going to be a public audit of any sort?
So here's what is going to happen. In March, the 3rd of March, we hired, of 2025, we hired our new CFO. He comes from a very important background, comes from Letter One. He's an expert in contentious audits. I don't think ours should be contentious, but still, I think we got the best-in-class CFO. And also, given the change of direction of the new administration in the US, last year, having Senator Warren basically saying, you are an auditing firm, you should not touch crypto, and especially stablecoins with a 10-foot pole, that was very hard to get anyone on board, right? No, now we are seeing a change of direction. So it's not up to me to set the timeline, because I see these Big Four auditing firms actually being interested, and I have opened a dialogue with us we are in discussions, and that is our top priority.
How tough is it to do that? How tough is it to do that, to do what Andrew's asking?
For us, it's not tough. I mean, we do a quarterly attestation. That is, by the way, the industry standard. The other stable coins, they don't have their reserves audited as well, right? It would be unfair to single out Tether in this process. There is an administration that really was very against that.
But just so I understand, so because I read that story back in March saying that you were in talks with a Big Four accounting firm. Since then, have you hired a firm to do this work?
We are very in good progress with that. I'm very positive.
Well, let me ask a question. Just given all the questions, why wouldn't you hire them and say, in a month from now, you need to put out a report right this second? Just because I would assume if everything is as good as you say, that would be actually helpful to your business.
I've been saying that for so long. There's no excuse why they can't present a full audit from a legitimate company. I've been saying that forever.
Well, they still believe that there is a reputational risk, right? Again, they went from an administration that was very aggressive against crypto, with OCC being against crypto and now turning in favor of crypto. There was Operation Choke Point 2.0. The same people that are managing the Big Four auditing firms are very, very cautious. So again, being onboarded with the Big Four auditing firm for the purpose of audit is a long process and requires them to become comfortable with the new landscape that is changing.
And that's about them putting their reputation behind your numbers. That's what I'm saying. So you're saying they're not convinced yet that they want to do that work?
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that they are not even started to look at our numbers. We have a public attestation that is a quarterly one, is done by BDO, that is the fifth largest auditor in the world, and is very thorough, is independently confirming our assets. Our assets are very easy. We have a certain number of issued tokens, and we have treasuries and a few other assets in our reserves. So we are very, very transparent. We had Cantor Fitzgerald for 2 years. They went through the most thorough certification of what we have in our reserves. They counted every single dime. They turned every single rock. We had our Latnik last year in 2024 going publicly saying, I see their reserves, I see their money. So it's not difficult, but it requires them.
Well, that's where I was going next. You mentioned Howard Lutnick and Cantor Fitzgerald. He is now obviously the Commerce Secretary. Do you feel that he's advocating for you inside the administration? What's that relationship like now, and how should the public think about that?
Well, we have a Chinese wall between us in this moment. There could be conflict of interest, so we are not allowed to talk to him. Yet we maintain a great relationship with Cantor Fitzgerald. We custody all our treasuries there. They are a great firm. They are the first firm that in Wall Street started to really care about Bitcoin.
Well, you're based in El Salvador, and I guess we'll have some regulation here, but you can understand why people would certainly want to know more and have a lot more transparency. I think that's what we're getting at. And I would think that isn't the Trump coin sort of a competitor to you eventually, or not?
USD it's different, right? Trump coin is a meme coin.
Not that one. The stable coin. Liberty, whatever it's called.
Yeah, World Liberty Finance, I think you're referring to. We welcome competitors. This night I saw that big banks are going after our business model. Well, actually not our business model. I think that mostly the difference is that we serve the people that the banks would not touch with a 10-foot pole, not because they are bad people, just because they are too poor of being of their interest. All the hundreds of millions of people living in Africa and in Kenya, Nigeria, and all that, right? So I'm very confident. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's another valid question too, is, the competition from like World Liberty Financial's USD1, Circle, banks are going to try. Here's the thing with banks releasing stable coins though, guys, right? That I don't really think is much of a threat. Banks issuing stable coins, they're not decentralized, so they're not trustless. And that's the problem, right? One bank A is not going to use Bank B's stable coin and vice versa. They're not trustless because they're not decentralized, right? They can use stable coins for internal purposes, but outside of that, a bank issuing a stable coin is not going to be successful globally or even domestically, right? Because again, Bank A is not going to use Bank B's stablecoin and vice versa, right? So just something to think about there. What do we have? Is it too late to buy ZBIC? I mean, I probably wouldn't be buying it right now, to be honest. Crypto Boomin is a woman. Yeah, she's in our live streams on the Patreon all the time. She's a fantastic person. What's up, Rob? Be silent, but loving and learning everything you put out. Would never have been able to make it. I've made it without you. Fill in the blanks. Jake the Snake. Steve, I sent you. Nice. Well played, sir. Well played. Tom Emmer reintroduces bill for crypto regulatory clarity. Tom Emmer, U.S. Congressman, has reintroduced the Blockchain Regulatory Certainty Act, aiming to provide clear crypto regulations in the U.S. The bill aims to define the nature of cryptocurrencies more clearly, potentially impacting market behaviors and confidence. Tom Emmer and Darren Sato have reintroduced the crypto-focused legislative framework that seeks regulatory clarity. Their bipartisan effort intends to support blockchain innovation in the U.S. by defining digital assets straightforwardingly. U.S. Congressman Tom Emmer and Darren Sato stressed that creating definitions for crypto securities and commodities is crucial. Emmer stated the need for clarity to drive entrepreneurship and investment. Their legislative proposal aims to resolve persistent regulatory ambiguities. Clarity in classification could significantly impact the crypto industry's growth potential by providing much-needed stability. This legal redefinement has spurred positive feedback from industry advocates who support reintroducing ambiguity for developers and investors. The bill's reception indicates a favorable outlook for U.S. crypto investment, with advocacy groups expressing strong support. Coin Center and Blockchain Association and others view this as a chance to solidify U.S. leadership in the digital economy. Ongoing legal uncertainties in crypto classifications has stifled innovation and investment. Historical precedents suggests such regulatory efforts could stabilize token prices and possibly increase sector engagement if passed. The industry and political observers anticipate this bill could set a precedent for other nations grappling with similar crypto categorization issues. Clear guidance might lead to increased U.S. crypto adoption, affecting major infrastructure projects in blockchain technology. You'll love to see it. Studio Tech, what's going on, man? Circle gets my vote over Tether. Yeah, Beebs, I'm with you on that, brother. I use Tether for short-term stuff, like from going from project to project, because it has all the pairings. But for my long-term holds in stablecoin, I always go with Circle's USDC, right? So yeah, all right, let's go have another look at the Bitcoin chart, guys. What's going on over there? Climbed up a little bit, almost back up to 109,000, so looking okay. Got to get back above this $109,600 mark before the end of the day. That's what I want to see. But for now, guys, I got some one-on-one coaching calls I got to do over on the Patreon. If you're looking for mentorship in this space, if you want to succeed in this space, you want to learn how to handle it mentally, emotionally, how to structure portfolios, how to create exit strategies, profit-taking plans, how to identify studs from duds, get over to the Patreon, jump into our one-on-one coaching mentorship calls, guys. They're absolutely free as a Patreon member, so come aboard, check it out for yourselves. We're also live over there every day. And guys, right now we are talking about the next gem that's going to pop off, like Onyx Coin and like ZBEC. We are talking about it. We've been accumulating it over on the Patreon. If you want to get in early, if you're sitting there right now looking at ZBEC and you're like, is it a good time to buy ZBEC? Guys, we got the next one that's going to pop off. We called XCN, we called ZBEC. Now we're calling another one. Get over there, get involved in these projects before they pop off, not afterwards, right? Be a holder ahead of time. So you start buying stuff that's already popped off, you become exit liquidity, guys. Check it out for yourselves. The link is down below in the description. click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. I'm going to go do some coaching calls right now, guys. I'll see you guys later tonight. God bless.